Well, I mean, the first one that comes to mind was with Rachel, obviously, because most recent first date, most fresh to mind. And it wasn't a date, actually. We had just kind of met up
I mean,
at a coffee shop.
It wasn't a date, like when we started. It wasn't
years
a,
of
like,
knowing each other in the,
we both kind of backdated it as being a date, but it was definitely in the moment, like, not an official date. We were just going to have coffee and to hang out because we
it's Metropolis
were both nerdy
coffee
helping
up on
professionals
Granville, and it's kind of big for a coffee shop, several rooms, but we had
he walked into Metropolis
right
and had this like smile on his face, like he was happy to see me, and kind of that was just such a relief and such a breath of fresh air. And like
there's kind of us, and then right next to us
but we sat there and we talked about everything from
to order the entire
like
time.
Brene Brown and vulnerability, which was like a huge thing. I had yet to encounter a cis dude who spoke about Brene Brown with any kind of sincerity.
Relaxed and engaged.
You know, everything.
And,
he ended up...
the time just sort of flew by. If anything, we had to kind of slow down because, you know, a great date, sometimes yes-anding happens too fast. Like, you finish a sentence and there's like 3 things that the other person wants to comment on in that sentence. In this case, it was like...
That felt just really...
we'd
really
be talking
safe.
about,
and like we talked a lot about self-compassion, I think, which was the big thing.
Gets us talking about
for both of us. It's something we
vulnerability,
both struggle with and continue
Brown,
to struggle with.
Something that we both have in common is loving her work, and just like some random turn of phrase along the way will be reminiscent of a line of poetry or a line of Shakespeare or something.
And I remember walking back and just like taking in the sunshine. It was early spring, but it was like a little warmer in spring. Like for some reason, it was like that 1 week of spring that's really nice before it gets cold again, before summer starts. So I just remember really like soaking that in and just like feeling like I was glad to have the walk home to take a breath and like.
And I just remember
really
it being
excited.
one of those where like I didn't have any expectations at all going in. I was just like, I'm gonna get to have a conversation with this person. Her costume was really cool, and I know nothing about her. And an hour and a half later, it was like, is there such thing as like a second date when it wasn't a date? How long do I wait before I text to say like, let's talk again, let's get together in some way? I waited about 5 minutes. After I was like on the train and being like, this, I could play this really cool, but why? There on that train in that moment,
sun was coming into his garden apartment.
I remember feeling
like he
butterflies
had like,
in my stomach.
It was like that movie shot where the sheet's kind of artfully draped across like
fluttery,
the chest, and you've got like one arm up, and he had the most like soothing, peaceful, but also really
I don't notice anybody else on the train.
Just like
I'm completely in my own head.
I was so grateful that I was right there with him, and I just had to kind of snap a picture of it. Just
it must have been. It's springtime.
It looks so wonderful.
So the weather for like one day in Chicago isn't pressing in on you either as heat or as cold. And I just felt simultaneously in the present and so far ahead, like extremely excited and extremely hopeful about who knows what.
But it just felt,
very
I finished that
future.
And felt very just, I think how I felt afterwards is what makes that day just feel so special to me, is that I felt very held.
The Fable and Folly Network, where fiction producers flourish.